We've been having some issues with the logging company we contracted with to harvest some timber from our property. We had a contract saying that the job would be completely finished by March 31st, and it's the middle of April right now, and there's about 40% of the job still yet to be done. And this normally wouldn't be too big of a deal, except for the fact that part of the 40% that still needs to be logged is the part of the woods that butts right up next to fence in my garden orchard and behind our barn. A lot of the trees right on the border of our garden and food forest and everything are marked to be taken out of here. So I was expecting to have a huge amount of empty space to work with by this time, and I was going to expand the fence. I bought a bunch of fruit trees and fruit bushes to plant like a whole new orchard in the new area, and I was going to expand my garden into there and grow a bunch of feed for my chickens and even more food for ourselves. But that's just not how things played out. Now I still have all those plants on order because I ordered them. You have to order them, like I placed the order in January, so I still was planning on having this space available. But now everything's starting to show up. The trees aren't cleared out of here. So I basically have to figure out a way to pack this orchard that I ordered into the space that we have cleared already. And that's gonna require me to rearrange our layout that we built last year and move some of the structures that we constructed. Our snow has only been melted a couple days as of the shooting in this video. So I've spent that time focusing on fencing off all of the cleared space that we have up here, because before I kind of had like everything sectioned off individually. So I took the inside of all those individual fences and connected them all together. So now I have one huge space all fenced in, and I'm gonna connect it to the house here in the next couple days and put some nice gates in, all that good stuff. But after that, I cleared out a bunch of the logs because we still had a lot of logs and brush and a lot of stuff left over from when we felled trees to clear space for this whole garden last year. So I got everything cleared out of here, everything fenced off, and I've been picking out the new areas that I'm gonna turn into fruit trees, or where I'm gonna plant the fruit trees and fruit bushes, because I already paid for them. They're all on their way. Half of them are here already, so I really gotta focus on getting these things into the ground. So I got everything cleared, everything fenced off, and then I put tarps down right away. Now that all that's done, I'm moving on to planting trees. I put 5 trees in the ground already. I still have a couple more trees to go, and I have a bunch of cuttings that I got from Edible Acres that I'm gonna be putting in my orchard and planting throughout this entire space that I have fenced off now. But to fit all the trees, it's gonna require me to kind of rearrange the layout that we have currently on our homestead. And it looks like I'm gonna have to take down a couple structures to fit all of them in here. And the first thing I'm taking down is the cattle panel greenhouse. And I'm a huge fan of the structure. It's just that, and the chickens are at the bottom of a hill right now. And we just got through our first winter of dealing with chickens, and that hill was just an absolute nightmare. It's just a sheet of ice. As soon as the snow hits, it's extremely tough to walk and like haul water down. And then on top of that, the cattle panel is supposed to be like a food scrap, like compost area for them to hang out in. And it worked well, but it was just it's just very hard for me to get to in the winter, and I couldn't really keep up with the food scraps I was getting from the local grocery store, so that started to pile up. That got gross, and I wasn't giving them enough to the birds, so it's just a bad spot down there anyway. So I think that would be better for fruit trees in the long run regardless. But it still sucks, and the good thing about cattle panels is though that I can use these panels in other ways, and I'm probably gonna use a couple of them, if not 3, maybe 4, we'll see, to build a hay shelter, because I'm gonna be getting some hay. So that's probably coming down. And I'm also gonna have to take down the chicken coop right next to it. And I'm just gonna turn that whole area that used to be our chicken area into orchard and just combine everything there. So it's probably hard to see on camera, but these 2 ash trees that we're taking out here, they're leaning heavily over into our chicken run / orchard area. And so we're gonna try to fell them back this way. And that's what the tractor's for, but they're gonna get caught up in this tree if we do that. So we're gonna put this one down over there and then fell the 2 ash trees right in behind them. Oh no. That's going right on the fence. Oh no. And that should give us enough space to plant the trees. It'll still be a little tricky because there's a giant black walnut right in the middle, and those put a toxin into the soil that kills all the plants in that area to prevent them from having competition. But I've read that that only goes as far as the canopy, so I'm just gonna give that tree a wide berth, and I should still be able to plant all of my fruit trees in there. And the chickens will be good. I'm making them a mobile chicken coop right now. That's almost finished. And then the plan is to just put that mobile coop in our orchard right next to our barn. And then that way, everything will be a lot easier, especially in the winter. They won't be at the bottom of a hill with a long walk through ice to get out to them. They'll be right by the barn. I can bring out food scraps, whatever they need.